Hello, Herlighters. It's Erin Foley back in the booth. Hey, what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. It's a bonus episode. What? This is where, like, if I had like a marching band or any ability to do a music cue, um, one day it's all going to come together with some more fun bells and whistles. But right now, I'm straight up recording a bonus episode in my office in Los Angeles, California. If you're watching this on YouTube, I've got a really fun whiteboard to the right of me with 6, 7 talking points, and we're doing a week in review. As you know, at some point, I will properly label this. This will become something, but right now we're just throwing we're throwing some shit out and see it what sticks. Is that the expression? Not even quite. Not even sure. To be really honest, I did 5 stand-up shows this week, got off the stage at 11 o'clock, barely slept, had a half a gin and tonic, and I just want to talk sports. Whatever happens, buckle up. Let's do this. Obviously, new episodes drop on Tuesdays. I have had wonderful guests so far, so many fun things planned, but I do miss talking about the day-to-day stuff that happens. So let's kick this off. Let's do this. Obviously, the number one story coming out this week is the U.S. Women's National Team Olympic roster was announced. The Emma Hayes, after whatever you want to call it, regime change has started. This was her first big decision, and I loved it. I thought the roster is looking fantastic. Obviously, the glaring omission is that I did not make the roster. My phone was blowing up. Foley, where are you? Foley the goalie. Apparently, I lost out to Jane Campbell and it was close. It's fine. She's on. I figured at least I would be an alternate. But I did talk to Coach Hayes and she was like, technically you have to be a professional soccer player. And I was like, all right, whatever. Anyway, got over it fairly quickly. Obviously, the glaring omission was Alex Morgan, and we will get to that. But let's check out the roster because this is a quick week in review. So we're going to do this Fast and Furious style. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Goalkeepers, Casey Murphy, love it. Alyssa Nair, please, for the love of God, get duct tape, cough medicine, a pair of goggles, whatever it takes. Alyssa Nair, please get on the field. Please be healthy. Defenders, Tierna Davidson. I'm hoping she gets more and more confidence. I think she's a good defender. Still get nervous, not gonna lie. Still nervous, but we're going with her. Emily Fox, love, obsessed, thinks she's absolutely fantastic. Her European experience is going to be amazing. Naomi Girma, obviously, going to be the future captain. I panicked when Rampone retired. Then Sauerbrunn came in, and we're going to talk about Sauerbrunn after we do the roster. How we lose her was just absolutely devastating. And then suddenly, Angel from above, Girma slips into that slot, lockdown. Casey Kruger had her on the bubble, but I'm a big fan of hers. I think she brings speed. She's super consistent. Thumbs up on that pick. And a nice Swanger, quickly becoming one of my favorite players. I love her game. I love in these kind of warm-up games. She was, back left, and then she was, running, doing so many runs. I feel like she's got like a little mini Rapinoe in her, and I'm digging it. Emily Sonnet. I would put Emily Sonnet on the team just for her sense of humor. I think she proved herself against in the U.S. Sweden game. I'm just a big fan of hers. I think it's sometimes you need players that have like a lot of personality, a lot of grit. She can play multiple positions. Over the last couple years now I've become a real big Emily Sonnet fan. Didn't see that coming. Okay, Mield. Corbin Albert. Not a fan. However, second chances, okay. I just have not seen her play enough. I don't think from what I've seen that I'm like, oh, thank God she's on the team. So for me, I would have put in like where's Andy Sullivan? I don't know. Ashley Sanchez, she's probably not a midfielder. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not wild about that pick. Sam Coffey, loving this pick. Love the shorts. She, Haran goes a little bit up. She plays a little bit down. I know these aren't the technical terms, but stay with me, people. I just love her and her like 80s gym teacher energy with the shorts. I'm loving this pick. Horan, obviously the captain. We need her head. We need her presence. We need everything about Lindsay Horan. Rose Lavelle, dream sequence. That's what I'm going to say for Rose Lavelle. I don't need to say anything more. Just a left-footed dream sequence. Katerina Macario, very excited. I feel like we saw like real great moments from her, and then she got hurt. Obviously, Emma Hayes knows a lot more about her because of the European play. She is to me, one of the most intriguing players, and I'm very excited to see how this is going to shake down during the Olympics. Forwards, Crystal Dunn. Okay, love this, obviously. If you're not a fan of Crystal Dunn, throw yourself off the balcony. She is amazing. Obviously, she can play defense. She can play midfield. Put her in goal. She'd be great. We just need her. There is no team without Crystal Dunn. And then you've got the trio of Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, Ellery Swanson. This is the dream team. This is you're going into battle. You need a goal. I think they're gelling together. Absolutely. Yes. 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 Okay. So here's Jaden Shaw. She's the last of the forwards. Now, I love this pick. We need youth. Obviously, Emma Hayes is going with youth and speed. That seem like a huge factor into the decision. So why not? Jaden Shaw, when Jaden Shaw is in the right position, she scores. We've seen this in the last, year of all the She Believes Cups and the mini camps and all that good stuff. I think she's part of the future. She can also play like high midfield. I think that's something. Loving this pick. Alternates, goalkeeper Jane Campbell. Well, it's fine. Should have been me, not a problem. Obviously, Jane Campbell, so good. And then these two alternates, really intrigued by midfielder Hal Hirschfeld, midfielder Croy Bethune. Let me just tell you this. If you are a Washington Spirit fan, which I need to watch a lot more Washington Spirit games, you have to be excited about these picks, and you just have to be excited about the state of your team. The 2024 NWSL draft. What do I have? Where are my soccer notes? I'm looking down. Hal goes 5. Okay, so Croy Bethune 3rd in the draft. This is 2024. This just happened a couple months ago. Hal Hirschfeld, padded, redheaded, fire. She goes 5. So these two alternates, very exciting. They're going to get a ton of experience. They're going to get, I know they're not going to be technically on the field during the game. Alternates have to sit in the stands, which I think is just terrible. But I do believe I'm right. I'll probably fact check this after, but I'm almost positive alternates are not on the sideline. But still soaking up all that experience. I love this. And forward Lynn Williams, I don't mind this at all. I mean, I love Lynn Williams. And obviously people are like, she's, the all-time NWSL scorer. But she, I don't know. To me, I'm not taking, you can take Rodman Smith or Swanson out and put Lynn Williams in. I think absolutely not. So I guess the argument is like, do you put Lynn Williams in and do you put Jaden Shaw as an alternate? But again, she's going with youth there. Lynn Williams, God, I love Lynn Williams. So that's a hard one. To me, that's a hard one because she does run back at the speed of an Avenger. I don't even know what I'm talking about. She gets back on defense is what I'm trying to say. And that is huge. She does that better than Trinity Rodman, but Rodman needs more experience and play time, and bringing that into her games. I don't know. Obviously, now we'll get to we'll get to the Alex Morgan. Obviously, this has been covered all week. I am not shocked, but I am surprised. I would say that. It's one of these things where I would not make a good head coach because I'm very sentimental. And I don't think if I had to call Alex Morgan, who has done so much for this U.S. women's national team, if I had to call her and say, you're not making the Olympic team, I would have a breakdown. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. but obviously the decision had to be made. She has been banged up the last, 6 months. I think it's an ankle injury. She has not been scoring for the U.S. women's national team. She has not been scoring for the San Diego Wave. It's the changing of the guard. And when it happens, it's heartbreaking. I did go back, of course, and watch. There's been some fun videos out of like best Alex Morgan moments and, the header in the Olympics in London. I mean, I love her. I love her. So it was obviously a brutally tough decision, but I don't disagree with it. I just think it's also heartbreaking at the same time. Would I, at the end of the day, left off Lynn Williams or left off Jaden Shaw for Alex Morgan? I don't know. I don't know. I agree, though. I have to say, I agree. Emma Hayes is going with youth and speed, and she's looking towards the future. And I think it's just, age and injury in performance. So I totally understand why Alex Morgan is not on this roster, but it is heartbreaking and it is the experience factor. I don't know. This is obviously just an extremely hard decision, but I wanted to say this, wrapping up this Olympic roster piece. Not having Becky Sauerbrunn and not having Alex Morgan, and I know Becky Sauerbrunn was not in contention for this roster, but I am going to miss those two so much. And I'm hoping that Becky Sauerbrunn and Alex Morgan have like one more U.S. women's national team game so we can send them off, so we can cheer, so we can say thank you. We can write them thank you cards. Let's bring back snail mail. They have given so much to this game. And if we never see them in a U.S. women's national team jersey, that is going to be a little bit of a heartbreaker. But rarely do you see the best of the best athletes in any sports, men, women, whatever it is, go out on top, go out with this blaze of glory. And that's a heartbreaker. But am I excited for this roster? Does this roster make me excited? Yes, it does. And I think at the end of the day, bring it on. Let's do this. I am fired up. Okay, moving on. Casey Stoney out, San Diego Wave head coach. Holy shitballs. So I'm a huge Casey Stoney fan. And the fact that she's out at head coach of the Wave is a absolute shocker. This to me is not a great decision at all. She comes into an expansion team in 2022 and wins coach of the year, and they make the playoffs. Never been done before in an expansion team. What did she do into 2023 last year? They won the Shield, best record in the NWSL. They lost in the semifinals. Okay. Now this year, obviously it's a tougher year, right? They have trouble scoring. Absolutely. 12 goals in 14 matches. They're on a 7-game winless streak. Totally understand that. But hasn't she bought enough leeway? That's an expression. Not sure. Do you give her? Don't you give her more leeway? I think that's it. Has she bought enough chips? That's something. To me, she deserves more than this. She deserves a chance to turn the team around. Oregon's been hurt. There's been travel concerns, playing in heat waves. I don't know. All this stuff is happening, and I cannot believe that they wouldn't give her more of a runway. I think that's what I was trying to say. Perimenopause. Anyway, here's the point. I don't like this decision. Not happy about it. Casey Stoney deserves better. I know there's new management or ownership in the San Diego Wave, and they're under, the gun to win. It's not like she was in 14th place. They're like a couple games out of the edge of the playoff mix. We're not even halfway through the season, maybe halfway. Don't like it. All right, next, moving on, WNBA Commissioner's Cup. My sweet, sweet Liberty fall to the Minnesota Lynx. Let me tell you this. I didn't see this coming. Just going to say it. If you listen to this past week's podcast with Lindsay D'Arcangelo, we did say, hey, what about the Lynx? And I thought, yeah, they're a good team, but don't see it. They proved me wrong. They beat the New York Liberty. Listen. If the Liberty, again, have to lose, which I hate it when they lose, the Minnesota Lynx they are a feel-good team. I'm not going to lie. I love the state of Minnesota. Just simultaneously, I am wearing a PWHL Walter Cup champion Minnesota hat on. Didn't even realize the Minnesota connection. Cheryl Reeve, let me tell you this. Cheryl Reeve gets the best of every player, and that's why she is our Olympic coach. This to me, if you didn't watch the game, Minnesota wins by, I don't know, I don't even know what the final score was. It was close, 7, 8 points. But honestly, Minnesota, suffocating defense. Their defense, they would be, doubling the post. Here's the crazy big headline for this game. Jonquel Jones, who's having a phenomenal season for the New York Liberty. She's our big center. I was watching the game. She had 0 points by late in the third quarter. She wound up having 3 points for the entire game. That's it. To me, that's the headline right there. Suffocating defense, Jonquel Jones, 3 points. We could barely get her on the board. She was playing, I don't know, she wasn't getting deep. She wasn't getting into the paint. She was a lot of time on the perimeter. Our offense just looked at a sink. I know, Lainey Hamilton is just getting back in the mix. Ender Sloot, I got heartbreaker. She's been away for the team for 8 games because her mom passed away. So yeah, there's stuff to work out on the Liberty side. But I have to tell you, another just a couple of moments is the combination. Bridget Carlton, 23 points for the Lynx. Never seen her play better in my entire life. Nafisa Collier, take a second and just watch some Minnesota Lynx games just to see Nafisa Collier play. She's absolutely amazing. Courtney Williams, what a great pickup in the offseason. Her energy, her fire, her passion. Now you got to keep your eye on the Minnesota Lynx. Let me just tell you that. So a really cool thing, though, I did want to mention in this Commissioner's Cup, besides them getting, I think it's like splitting, I think it was like 500 grand. That should be fact checked. My fact checker, Carol, she's like July 4th. That's her big holiday. So I came into the office today and she just wrote gone for the holiday. So don't have a live fact checker, but they split a whole bunch of money, which is great. But they're also playing for a charity, which I thought is just so cool. And it's so WNBA. I mean, these women are just incredible. Oh, a shout out to Minnesota. They picked a charity called Gender/Justice, helps dismantle the legal, political, and structure barriers of gender equality. So 10 grand to that organization. Just so cool, so classy, amazing. And the losing team, the Liberty, their charity is Women Creating Change, empowering underserved women to become change makers. 5,000 to that charity. So cool. Absolutely loved it. Okay, here we go. WNBA upsets. So you think, okay, well, Minnesota, now they're on a roll. Nope. Next game, they lose to Dallas. Dallas, who has been just reeling this entire season. They picked up Odyssey Sims, journeywoman of the WNBA, at her peak, phenomenal player, 18 points off the bench, and Dallas upsets Minnesota. And you're like, okay, so is this the turn for Dallas? Is Dallas now back in the picture? Connecticut Sun on a little bit of a downslope, but they come back, they beat Washington, then they lose to Atlanta. Huge upset. Atlanta and Dallas, bottom of the barrel. Atlanta beats Connecticut without Ryan Howard. So is Atlanta now making a turn towards the top, or at least making a run in the second half of the season? So those are huge upsets this week. Just when you thought, okay, here's some separation of top teams, all of a sudden Dallas and Atlanta come up with huge wins. And also you have to shout out Chelsea Gray, now back with the Vegas Aces, and they've won 3 in a row. So just parity in the second half of the season is going to be fire. Boom, another bullet point done. 2 left, USA Gymnastics. So this weekend is the trials, it's the Olympic trials, it's the finals. The Olympic squad will be picked this week. But 2 horrible injuries. Now, if you watched and if you haven't listened or watched to an interview I did a couple weeks ago with ESPN reporter Alyssa Ronick, listen to that. She covers extensively the USA Gymnastics team, and it was, 5 go. I think it was just stacked. It was like 8 or 9 people, like, just very close margin who's going to be on this Olympic team. Kayla DiCello, torn Achilles. Guy Blakely ruptured Achilles. This is just in the last 72 hours. Elise Jones knee injury, not as serious. Actually, right now, we don't know to the extent of her knee injury, but she wasn't performing on day one, which was yesterday. So Blakely into cello, I mean, heartbreaking injuries. You are literally performing the weekend before heading into the Olympics with Achilles injuries. So that now shakes up the entire USA gymnastics team. Isles obviously is still in first and having a good weekend, but that to me is huge news. And we just have to see at the end of the weekend if Jones can get back and performing. But a huge shakeup in USA gymnastics, which nobody saw coming. And our last roundup week in review. Okay, I'm obsessed. New York Liberty mascot. If you don't know this, you just Google it and just go on Instagram and watch these videos. I have mentioned it before, Ellie the Elephant. This became the new mascot when they went from New York to Brooklyn. She did a halftime show at Pride Night. You got to watch it. It's a shout out to Beyonce, like an homage to Beyonce, Renaissance, just the dancing and the bling and how she comes into the tunnel, with the WNBA fits and now how she enters the tunnel. I mean, it is so fun. It's magical. It's so heartwarming. Absolutely love the swagger, the energy. It's so New York. And now, like, literally, friends and I are on a text like, who is Ellie the Elephant? Because she's like a superstar mascot, a superstar in the WNBA, and no one knows who she is. And I think it's a gay male, gay man. I feel like it has to be a gay black man. It has to be a gay black man or a black woman. Okay, the dance moves are insane, but Ellie the Elephant is giving me fun gay male vibes. I've been on 8,000 gay boy cruise ships performing stand-up comedy, and I feel like the gay male dancers, that's the vibe I'm getting. But who knows? But I just think whoever it is, like, goes around in life, nobody knows that you are like the number one mascot and like a phenomenal dancer, and you're so fun. It's just fascinating. It's just fascinating. So to me, those are, those are the six. Those are the six big stories of the week. I'm going to say this right now, people. I had a lot of fun doing this. I get in my head about being perfect about everything. I'm starting to meet with a life coach and talk about me just throwing stuff out there and not worrying about being perfect or what everyone's thinking. I'm just sharing this because this is my life. And I thought today I'm going to go to the office. I'm going to write 6 things down, and I'm just going to, pardon the language, I'm going to fucking go for it. So there you go. I'm probably talking too fast right now and giving you too much information, but this was a blast. I'd like to say in closing, happy Pride, everybody. This is the last weekend of Pride. I think it's New York City Pride this week. I am going to ACFC Orlando NWSL match tomorrow. It is our Pride match. I'm so thrilled. I'm really excited to see Orlando too, because their goal scorers are insane. So yeah, happy Pride. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll be back next week. Tuesday drops another episode of Her Lights. Fans, friends, family, have the best week of your life.